In Forged in Fire, the most frustrating material for contestants is none other than elevator cable. If not handled properly, it might turn into a bird's nest during twisting, or even unravel completely and scatter all over the floor. Even if forging is completed, it could snap in two under the judges' brutal testing. The show didn't just provide elevator cable as the material, they also required the final blade to be between 25 centimeters and 40 centimeters long, with an overall knife length not exceeding 55 centimeters. And it must feature a groove half the length of the blade. Salem first welded both ends of the cable to secure it, preventing it from bursting due to thermal expansion. Even Judge Nelson praised this as the best approach. He then used pliers to twist the cable along its length to make it tighter, sprinkled flux to assist, and once red hot again, it was ready for forging in the hydraulic press. After welding, Chris blocked the heating furnace with fire bricks. This allowed the internal temperature to rise faster, boosting efficiency. However, right after that, he forged the heated steel billet directly. The youngest contestant, likely due to inexperience, heated and twisted the cable without welding first. This caused one end to unravel, and eventually, the entire cable scattered on the floor. He had to sprinkle flux on each individual steel strand, hoping to rejoin them through heating. Craig worked at an incredible pace, welding, heating, twisting, forging. He finished all steps in no time. It's safe to say his speed was astonishing. With 2 hours remaining, Zach was still trying to save his unraveled cable. He kept sprinkling flux, and finally managed to barely fuse it together. But during power hammer forging, the tail end unraveled again. He had no choice but to cut off that section. Meanwhile, Chris's blade blank was already taking shape. He used specialized tools to hand hammer a blood groove, then deepened it with an angle grinder. After confirming his blade blank was straight, Craig also started this step. He used a hydraulic press to stamp the groove, which was less labor-intensive than hand forging. Salem, however, was still grinding his blade blank. He wanted to fix all flaws before quenching, to make his work as perfect as possible. With just 15 minutes left, Zach completed quenching. He was the first contestant to do so. Chris followed right after. After perfecting his grind, Craig also finished quenching quickly. Salem, but didn't heat his blade blank for quenching until the final 20 seconds. Once done, the perfectionist Salem noticed his blade was slightly bent. With no time left, he chose to straighten it by hand. This last second save had the judges on the edge of their seats. In the subsequent judging round, all 4 contestants' works were highly completed, but due to Zach's mistakes, his blade had obvious flaws, so he was eliminated first. The remaining 3 moved on to the second round, creating a complete knife in 3 hours. Salem and Craig had already finished grinding, so they focused all their energy on making the handles. Chris, however, chose to finish grinding his blade first, before working on the handle. This meant with 30 minutes left, Chris was still grinding his handle. He ultimately finished it just as time ran out. Next came the strength test. Craig's Bowie knife with AG-10 handle, and Salem's Greek-style knife, with an ebony handle both sliced through wood in one stroke, while keeping their edges sharp. Chris's camping knife with a micarta handle was slightly inferior in the sharpness test, cutting through pork. Both Craig's and Salem's knives sliced deep to the bone without any hesitation. Salem's work, in particular, wowed the judges. In comparison, Chris's knife lacked sufficient cutting depth. In the end, Chris was unfortunately eliminated. Now it's the final showdown between Craig and Salem, who will craft the more perfect Egyptian sickle and claim the championship?